Hi class, thank you for watching my nursing home tour and eval, and I do apologize that it's taken me so long to get this up. The nursing home that I did decide to tour, I wasn't going to be able to view it until yesterday, and that was out of town. I do live in Houston, and I was in San Antonio for work, and the nursing home that I decided to tour is the one that my grandmother actually stayed in. So if anybody read my bio, I am visiting that nursing home now for the first time in a long time. So I decided to tour the Country Care Manor, which is located in La Vernia, Texas, right outside of San Antonio, about 30 miles from San Antonio. When my grandmother stayed there, it was rated at a 2.0 stars. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I think 5 years now, she's been passed, the rating has gone up to 3.8 stars. So, like I had said, it is 30 miles from San Antonio, 18 miles from the nearest hospital. This nursing home is in the middle of the town's three levels of school: the primary, the middle school, and the high school. Literally right in the middle. They're next door to the town's fire department, and they're across the street from the town's post office. So it is located in a very, very busy area of this little country town in Texas. This facility is both Medicare and Medicaid certified, and the types of care level that's offered, they have short-term care, long-term care. They do offer physical therapy, rehabilitation for occupational therapy and physical therapy. Occupational therapy being the upper extremities, taking care of the shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, fingers. Physical therapy being the entire body. They do offer the memory care, the respite care, and they do offer support services such as transportation for anybody who's still seeing their primary care doctor. They offer transportation to those doctor's appointments. They do have transportation to go to dialysis or hospice care, anything like that that the residents are needing that's outside of the nursing home's level of care. They offer transportation for that. And they actually do cater to veterans, which I thought was pretty cool. When I went to the facility, actually no beds were available. And the director that I was speaking to said that it is not an uncommon situation for no beds to be available. Because the nursing home only houses 45 residents, it is very common for there not to be any beds available. Personally, I do not believe that it's a reasonable distance for a family to visit because this is in a very small town in Texas, and the nearest city, San Antonio, the nearest popular city, is 30 miles away. I don't think that that's a reasonable distance for a family to travel. However, it is very close to cities called Floresville, Texas. It's really close to St. Hedwig, Texas. It's really close to Atkins, Texas, which are all small country towns. And if you think about San Antonio, this is not a town that you would consider to be a part of San Antonio. So I don't believe that it's a reasonable distance for family to visit. The resident appearance, all the residents that I saw, they were clothed. Some of them were in their regular casual wear. Some were wearing pajamas. Some were wearing robes. And their clothes did look clean. There is laundry service available for the residents. However, they do have to write their names on the back of their clothes in like a permanent marker, so that way when they wash their clothes, they know which rooms to deliver them to. Or family members can actually come and pick the clothes up and take them home. And they do have support animals, which I thought was nice. However, the residents are responsible for taking those support animals to the bathroom. So there was a foul smell to go along with walking in there. Their living space is definitely not free from odor. There, you can smell all the food. There's cigarettes. Like I said, animals live there, so it kind of interacts with all of these soiled adult diapers that you can smell walking in. It does not smell great, but the facility is very clean and it's well kept. The temperature was what I consider to be decent. It was at about 70 to 73 is what they like to keep it. But the lighting, however, is extremely dim. It looks like you're walking into a closet that has no windows and you turn on the light. It's very yellow. The noise level in the dining room carries throughout the entire facility. The facility is shaped like a T, and that T shape is the top of the T is where the residents live, and there's two sides of that hallway, and then the bottom of the T, that's when you walk in straight away, is the kitchen. You can see everything, and it's very loud. The smoking is allowed in the facility. However, it's outside only, and a lot of the residents do like to hang out in the little patio area that they have right in front of the nursing home. So that smell does carry into the main doors of the nursing home. They do have furniture in the lobby area. However, it's very outdated and it looks a bit stained. The staff was so nice, and it's a big change from when I was there a few years ago. However, they don't wear name tags. And I asked them why they didn't wear name tags, and they were stating so that way they don't find people who tend to stalk them. Family members of these residents could come in and they'll learn their names, and they've had these issues in the past. The staff does knock on the door before entering, and they do refer to all residents as Mr. or Mrs. And they do not offer continuing education programs for any of the staff that is working there. When I talked to the director about how carefully they go about selecting a person for hire, they state that their background check is a requirement. They do not hire anybody who has any kind of felonies or any kind of bad things associated to their name. I think that they are very well staffed. For every one nurse, there are 3 CNAs working. So the one nurse will take care of about 5 or 6 residents, but they have 3 CNAs to help cover them. The CNAs follow the plan of care designed by the PCP or the nurse practitioner that they do have on duty. So the CNAs do not make up their own plan of care. They do have social services on call, and they do have an MD on call, which I thought was very, very helpful because when my grandmother stayed there, they did not offer that service. The rooms for the resident, they can have personal belongings. They have a closet, they have some drawers, they have some cubby shelves, but everything does have to have their name on it. For one room, there's 2 residents, and the window, just depending on the side of the building you are, the window is either in the middle of both residents' bed, or it's actually one resident has a window and the other side of the room, the one resident does not. They do not get to choose who their roommate is, but they do try to link them up based on whether they think they'll get along with each other or not. And there is a policy to protect personal items. They do have lock boxes. They do state that it's okay that you bring like your own little suitcase with locks or anything like that. And then the director's office, she does have a safety box where you can put any items there upon family request or upon resident request. All the exits in the facility are marked. However, there are no quiet areas such as like meditation areas or just a library or anything like that. They do suggest that residents stay in their room if they're wanting like a quiet space, or they're able to go home, to their other family members' houses to visit, and they suggest if they want a quiet space, they can take that time to be with their family and step away and get a little bit of quiet space. There are smoke detectors and sprinklers, and I didn't see lights blinking on them, but I know that it's a policy to have those, and they do have to be working. All the wheelchairs are designed to be in all areas of that nursing home, so it is wheelchair accessible, and there are handrails all throughout the entire facility, in the hallways, in the bathrooms, in the showers, in the therapy department, and etc. Monday through Friday, they have a fixed menu. Breakfast is from 6:30 to 9, lunch is from 11 to 12:30, dinner is from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and those are set times. On Saturday and Sunday, they offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the same times. However, they do it like a buffet style. I did ask if there was any dietary special requests that they follow, such as food allergies, patients who are allergic to gluten, people who are vegan or vegetarian, things of that nature. And they do provide those kind of dietary meals. They just ask for them to be made a week in advance. The nursing home does not offer snacks for residents. They kind of leave it on your family to bring that in for you. If anybody is needing assisted feeding, that is available, and it'll be through the care of a CNA, just with a first-time observation of the nurse on duty and or the nurse practitioner or doctor on duty. Outside food can be brought in to the residents. However, either the director of the nursing home, a nurse practitioner, or a doctor does have to look at the food and approve it before it can go into the resident's room. They do offer activities such as like bingo, casino night. They have a baking night, music night, dance classes. All of those things are available during the week. They do offer a family night about once a month where they invite all the family to come in. And sometimes they do like poetry readings or things like that for the family to help participate. And for major holidays, they do offer activities such as like trick-or-treating throughout the entire facility, for the kids to see their grandparents or their great-grandparents or whoever is staying there. They do offer a Christmas brunch. I remember doing that. And so for major holidays, they do offer activities for the family to participate in. For the safety and care, the nursing home does have evacuation plans. However, the fire drills are not enforced. So when I was speaking to the director, I asked why they don't enforce fire drills and why they don't do them often. And she stated that it is hard for them to help everybody who's in wheelchairs during a fire drill when they know that they're not properly staffed, because for every one nurse, there is 3 CNAs and there's 45 residents. So I wasn't very pleased with that answer, and I don't really believe that that's the truth, but that's what she told me. Preventative care is not offered, however, it's recommended. So for flu season, they recommend that the patients go out and get their flu shots. Or if anybody has a fever and is contagious, they just recommend they stay in their room. But they do not offer preventative care and or give medication without the primary care's consent. The residents can still see their own primary care, and the facility will offer transportation for them to go to those appointments. The closest hospital is 18 miles away, and any EMS service that's around can respond. So with the hospital being that far away, if something really, really drastic were to happen, I think that that's too far away. The care plan meetings are held with the resident and the families upon request, and of course, upon entering the facility and staying there as their future home. The nursing home, when I asked if they corrected all deficiencies, the failure to meet one or more state federal requirements, nobody was able to answer this question for me. And when I did ask what improvements were going to be made for the quality of life for the residents, again, nobody was able to answer these questions for me. I was always referred to, well, you can call the president of the company who owns us, or why don't I give you the email to the human resources and maybe they'd be able to help you out. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.